So here's Gilligan's Island after a couple minutes of having the worms settle into their new home. I have no idea how to estimate how many worms that was. You know, I've watched lots of videos. I would like to say maybe a pound when you add all of the worms that we just harvested from the worm cafe, as well as the ones that were in the manure and the aged bedding. I have a plan to put more worms in there if I feel this bin needs them. However, you know, this bin is also a bit of a risk for us. We, are going to be leaving it outside. What we've done is we've packed the underneath with our used coconut coir hanging basket liners. We have lots of hanging baskets with new liners on them. And so we use the old ones to pack around the outside of the worm bin. We did buy a seed mat that will be plugged in if we feel the conditions warrant. And we do have other plans to use compost rolls to keep this bin toasty. Now, as for underneath, because it needed to be accessible for my wheelchair, it's up off the ground, and what we're going to do is we're going to pack underneath on those shelves with a variety of substances. It was suggested we use straw, but we decided we probably would have enough styrofoam and other matter. We get a lot of technology delivered to the house, so we have a lot of foam and styrofoam and other things, including just tubs of dirt, because we obviously have tubs of dirt that just sit idle all winter. So we will be putting tubs of dirt, styrofoam, flexible foam, and other things in that air gap underneath the shelves to keep the bin as toasty as possible. We did put some foil on top of these plastic shelving, directed back into the bin to preserve any heat that the bin does generate as much as possible. The bin obviously has a lid that will go on it, but I'm also thinking about cutting a custom piece of cardboard, maybe a couple of layers of cardboard, and putting it around with an airspace around the bin to give it additional cardboard insulation, or somehow insulating the lid itself. Obviously I used all my coconut coir on the underside of the bin, so I'm not quite sure what I'll do on the inside, but I do have some flexible foam. I may be able to fashion that into the lid somehow. Anyway, should have taken the label off the watermelon, but hopefully the worms, yeah, look at that. They are settling. They've gone down, and like I said, they're going down into bedding that contains worms, that has been aged, as well as those leaves that were out on our deck in a pail for the summer. And so they're going down into, not unfamiliar bedding. The aged bedding is what is in their home. So I was using this aged bedding in the worm farm where I got the watermelon and the worms from. And that farm has had horse manure in it in the past. So there's nothing that these worms should feel is strange to them, except perhaps the plastic of the bin itself. And we're hoping, given that it is a children's paddling pool or sandbox, that the plastic used is one that the worms won't find toxic. It won't be off-gassing or anything. So we're hoping that the plastic itself will be something that won't drive the worms away. Anyway, so it looks like everyone's tucked in, safe. I'm not going to put the lid on, I don't think, for a day or two. And we will hopefully not come out to having a great number of escapees, although I do realize that is sometimes inevitable. I may do like I've seen some people on YouTube do, which is put some moistened cardboard at the base of this so that if worms do come out and fall off, that they will find safe haven in some moistened cardboard on the patio. Anyway, that's it for now. So I'll come back when we're ready to put either the cardboard or the lid on, and we'll check in with it tomorrow to see whether we had escapees.